Lisa here. Welcome to my channel. This is my very first video. Today we'll be making muffins with parsnips. They're actually amazing for baking because they have a higher content of sugar than carrots. And I love them very much. My kids don't love them very much, but they do adore these muffins. Let's have a look at the ingredients. For approximately 6 muffins, you will need 100 grams of coconut oil, 120 grams of coconut sugar, 100 grams of whole wheat flour, and 50 grams of buckwheat flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of baking soda, 60 ml of honey, 1 lime, 2 eggs, ginger, a vanilla pod or 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and of course 1 parsnip. You will also need a baking tray and 6 baking cups, a box grater, 1 big bowl with a spatula, and a food processor, which is optional. You can also use another bowl and a whisk. I will be using this peeler for peeling my parsnip and something to grease your cups with. Start by preheating the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, preferably the fan position. I want to melt my coconut oil a little bit, so I place it in a bowl with hot water, and then I'm gonna peel and grate my parsnip. So I will need about 200 grams, so I think this is about enough, maybe a little bit more. So now I'm going to combine all of the dry ingredients. I forgot to mention that you have to sieve the flour, so you need a sieve. And I'm going to put my buckwheat flour and my whole wheat flour together. I'm going to add the baking powder and your baking soda. I'm going to set this aside for a little bit and go ahead with my wet ingredients. I like to use the food processor because it makes a really smooth paste. And now I'm adding the coconut sugar and my melted coconut oil. So it's not entirely melted, but that's okay. I'm adding the honey and I'm gonna crack the eggs right into the bowl. And now I'd like a piece of ginger. I think I'm gonna grate around a teaspoon or so. To this mixture, I'm gonna add some lemon zest or lime zest. I'm also using the juice of the lime. And now the final ingredients are vanilla. I'm gonna open the pod just like this and try to scrape all of that gold out of there. There you go. And all I have to do now is combine the wet ingredients with my flours and the baking powder. Just pour it in here and mix it well. Okay, so I'm not gonna over mix it because we want a nice and fluffy batter. And all we need to do now is add our parsnip. And just fold it in really gently. So this is done now. And we can go ahead and fill up our cups. These specific cups, and they tend to stick to your cupcakes or your muffins. So I'm gonna grease them with a little bit of coconut oil. It's been about 20 minutes, so I'm gonna check on my muffins now. smell is awesome. And I'm gonna check with my toothpick if they're ready. If it comes out dry, then they're done.